Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today my lecture is about the acid, bases and salts. It is the unit 10. First we will discuss about the typical characteristics of acids and bases. Acids has the sour taste while the bases are bitter in the taste. Acids turn the blue litmus red, while bases do not have any effect on this blue litmus. Acids do not show any effect on the red litmus, while bases turn the red litmus blue. Both acids and bases, they are corrosive to our skin. What do you mean by this corrosive? Corrosive means these acids or the bases, they can burn our tissues, they can burn our skin. It depends on the strength of the acid or the base. Acid and bases both conduct the electricity in aqueous solution. Means if you make the solution of this acid or the base, it can conduct the current over there. These acids and bases are commonly used in our daily life. For example, the bases are used in soap making, in drain cleaner, as well as some bases also act as the antacids. In the same way, there are the lot of acids which are edible, just like the apple, orange, lemon. They contain the acid, but they are the mild acids, do not have the bad effect on our health. How can we categorize the different substances or the acid or the acting as the base? Different scientists have put forward different theories in different times. The first successful theory was put forward by the Arrhenius scientist, and according to him, an acid is a substance that ionizes in the water and produces the hydrogen ions. And base is a substance which will ionize in the water and produce the hydroxide ions. Now what this ionization mean? It means when you will dissolve the substance in the water, it will split into the cations and anions. It will produce the positive and negative ions. Just like you can see the example here of the hydrogen chloride. When this hydrogen chloride is dissolved in the water, it produces the hydrogen ions, positive ions, and the chloride, negative ions. In the same way, sodium hydroxide, when it is dissolved in the water, it produces the sodium positive ions and hydroxide negative ions. Now this hydrogen chloride, as it is producing the hydrogen ion, it means this hydrogen chloride act as the acid. It is the Arrhenius acid. And in the same way, this sodium hydroxide, as it is producing the hydroxide ions, it is ionizing to the hydroxide ions. This shows that this hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, is acting as the base. Now you can see different examples of the Arrhenius acid and base. First one is the nitric acid, HNO3. When it ionizes in water, it produces the hydrogen ions and nitrite ions. This shows that this nitric acid is an Arrhenius acid, as it is producing the hydrogen ions. In the same way, sulfuric acid, H2SO4, when it ionizes, it produces the hydrogen ions and sulfate ions. These hydrogen ions is producing by the sulfuric acid. It means sulfuric acid is an Arrhenius acid. In the third example, you see the potassium hydroxide. When this potassium hydroxide, KOH, it is ionizes, it produces the potassium ions and hydroxide ions. As this potassium hydroxide is producing the hydroxide ions, it means this potassium hydroxide is an Arrhenius base. In the last example, you see the ammonium hydroxide. Ionization of this ammonium hydroxide shows that as it is producing the ammonium ions and hydroxide ions. This shows that ammonium hydroxide is a Arrhenius base because it is producing the hydroxide ions. There are certain limitations of the Arrhenius concept. First one is that it applies only to the aqueous solutions, means the solutions which are made in the water, it only applies to those, but it does not apply to the non-aqueous solutions. It cannot apply to the solids and gases. They cannot be categorized as the acid or the bases according to this Arrhenius concept. And second point is it does not explain why compounds such as the carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide are acidic in nature. The nature of this carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide is acidic, but according to the Arrhenius concept, they should produce the hydrogen ions to prove them the acids, but actually this carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide do not produce any hydrogen ions, so they cannot be categorized as acid according to the Arrhenius, so it is not explained by this. And third point is why ammonia is basic in nature. According to the Arrhenius concept, the basic substances will produce the hydroxide ions, but this ammonia do not produce any hydroxide ions, so it cannot be categorized as the basic. So these are the certain limitations which do not explain why the substances are behave as acidic or the basic, which do not have the hydrogen ions or hydroxide ions, and it cannot be applied to the non-aqueous. After the Arrhenius concept, the next theory was proposed by the Bronsted and Lowry. These were two different scientists who put the same concept. According to Bronsted and Lowry concept, an acid is a species which can donate a proton, and a base is a species which can accept a proton. So acid is a proton donor and base is a proton acceptor. In the example, you can see the reaction of this hydrogen chloride and water. Hydrogen chloride and water combine together producing the hydronium ion and chloride ion. In this you can see the arrow sign. This indicates that hydrogen chloride has donated its proton to the water. This arrow sign is indicating this. And if this hydrogen chloride is donating its proton to the water, so the hydrogen chloride is the Bronsted-Lowry acid, as it is a proton donor species. And in case of the water, as it is accepting the proton from this hydrogen chloride, it means according to the Bronsted-Lowry concept, this water is acting as the base, as it is the proton acceptor. And after accepting the proton, this water transforms into the hydronium ion and other product is the chloride ion. In the second example, you can see that ammonia and water react together and producing the ammonium ion and hydroxide ion. In this reaction, you can clearly see that in water, it is donating the proton to the ammonia. This arrow sign is showing clearly that hydrogen ion, proton from the water is transferred to the ammonia. This water is proton donating. It means here the water is acting as the acid. While in case of the ammonia, it is accepting the proton from the water, so this ammonia will act as the Lowry-Bronsted base. And again the product is the ammonium. Now concentrate on these two reactions. In the first reaction, you can see that hydrogen chloride and reaction between the hydrogen chloride and water. In this reaction, hydrogen chloride, this is the proton donor, so it is acting as the acid, and the water, it is the proton acceptor, so it is acting as the base. While in the other example in which the reaction between this ammonia and water, you can clearly see that this water is donating the proton to the ammonia. It means here the water is acting as the acid, while ammonia, as it is accepting the proton, so it is acting as the base. In both these examples, water is behaving in a different way. In one example it is acting as the base, and in the other example with ammonia it is acting as the acid. So such kind of the substances which behave both as an acid or the basics, depending on the other reactant in which way they will behave, these substances are called the amphoteric substances. As water is acting as a base in the first example with reaction with hydrogen chloride, and in the second example in reaction with ammonia, this water is behaving as the acid. So it is acting as the acid in one case and acting as a base in the other case. This shows that this water is amphoteric in nature. Amphoteric in nature means they behave both as an acid or the base depending on the other reactant. Here few examples are given to you to find out which substance is the Bronsted acid or the Bronsted base. In the first example, you can see the reaction of sulfuric acid and the water, and the product is the hydrogen sulfate and hydronium ion. In this, how can you find out which substance is the Bronsted acid and the Bronsted base? Keep in mind the definition of this Bronsted acid and the base. Bronsted acid is a species which can donate the proton, and Bronsted base is a species which can accept the proton. In case of the sulfuric acid, when you go towards the product side, you can see this sulfuric acid transform into the hydrogen sulfate ion or bisulfate ions. These indicate that one hydrogen or one proton has been removed from this sulfuric acid. Then it is transformed into the bisulfate ions, and in case of the water, in the product it is transformed into the hydronium ion. Water has the 2 hydrogen atoms while the hydronium has the 3 hydrogen atoms. So the water is the proton acceptor, so it is acting as the Bronsted base, while the sulfuric acid is acting as the Bronsted acid. In the second example, you can see the reaction between the acetic acid and the water. In case of this acetic acid and water, the product is the acetate ions and hydronium ion. Again, here you can see that in the reactant water, it is having the 2 hydrogen atoms, while in the product, this water transform into the hydronium ion having the 3 hydrogen atoms. So water is the proton acceptor, so it is the Bronsted base, while acetic acid, as it is donating the proton, it will act as the Bronsted acid. In the third example, you can see the reaction of the hydrogen sulfide and ammonia, and product is the ammonium ion and hydrogen sulfide ions. In this, in the reactant, ammonia has 3 hydrogen atoms, while in the product ammonium ion it has 4 hydrogen atoms. It means this ammonia is the proton acceptor. It has accept 1 proton from the hydrogen sulfide. So ammonia being the proton acceptor, it will act as the base, while hydrogen sulfide, it is the proton donor, so it will act as the Bronsted acid. Third concept is put forward by the G. N. Lewis, and it is more general than that of the Arrhenius and Bronsted-Lowry concept. According to the Lewis concept, a substance that can accept a pair of electrons and form a coordinate covalent bond will behave as the acid. It means according to the Lewis, acid is electron pair acceptor species, and according to him, the base is a substance that can donate the pair of electron and form a coordinate covalent bond. This means that Lewis base is a species which can donate a pair of electron. And after this electron pair accepting and donating, coordinate covalent bond is formed between the acid and base. Below in the reaction you can see it clearly, the reaction between this hydrogen chloride and water, and from these arrow signs you can clearly see that oxygen in the water, it donate its electron pair and form the coordinate covalent bond with the hydrogen of the hydrogen chloride, and the product is the hydronium ion is formed. In this water, it is donating, oxygen of the water is donating the electron pair, so it is the electron pair donor. As it is the electron pair donor, it means it will behave as the Lewis base. And in a hydrogen chloride, it is accepting the electron pair from the water. It means this hydrogen chloride is the Lewis acid, as it is the electron pair acceptor species. And a coordinate covalent bond is formed between the oxygen of the water and hydrogen of the hydrogen chloride. Here you can see the reaction between the ammonia and hydrogen chloride, and the product is the ammonium ion and the chloride ion. Again in this you can clearly see that nitrogen in the ammonia, it has the lone pair, and hydrogen chloride, this nitrogen donate its electron pair to the hydrogen of the hydrogen chloride and make a coordinate covalent bond between this hydrogen, between this nitrogen in ammonia and hydrogen of the hydrogen chloride, and the product is the ammonium ion. Here this ammonia is donating the electron pair. It means this ammonia is a Lewis base, as it is the electron pair donor. While in case of the hydrogen chloride, hydrogen in hydrogen chloride is accepting the electron pair, so it will behave as the Lewis acid. In the second example you can see the reaction between the ammonia and boron trifluoride. In this you can clearly see that nitrogen in the ammonia, it donated electron pair to the boron trifluoride, and in this way a coordinate covalent bond is formed between the nitrogen and boron of the boron trifluoride, and the complex is formed. In this ammonia, it is donating the electron pair, so it is the base, Lewis base, and boron trifluoride, it is accepting the electron pair from the ammonia, so it is the electron pair acceptor, so it will act as the Lewis acid. Here two examples are given to you to enhance your understanding about the Lewis acid and the base. In the first example, the reaction between the chloride ion and aluminium trichloride. This chloride ion has the negative charge. It means it can donate the electron pair. So it is donating the electron pair to the aluminium chloride, and aluminium in the aluminium chloride is electron pair acceptor. The product is aluminium tetrachloride is formed, and in this chloride ion, it is donating the electron pair, so it will act as the Lewis base. And aluminium trichloride, aluminium is accepting the electron pair, so it is acting as the Lewis acid. In the second example, you can see the reaction between the hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion, and the product is the water. In this hydroxide ion, oxygen has the lone pair. It can donate the electron pair to the hydrogen to the this proton, or you can see the hydrogen ion, positive ion. So this hydroxide ion, as it is the electron pair donor, it will act as the base, while hydrogen ion, as it is accepting the electron pair from this hydroxide ion, so it will behave as the Lewis acid.